baby.
Right, I've just changed the setting. I want us to just talk at this distance for a couple seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a mixture of this and this. So I mean,
This makes sense.
It
This
is.
makes a lot of sense.
it is what it is.
So we've turned up the mic, I believe.
All right, this would hopefully be better because I didn't like how low it was the other time. And you should really save this, and I'll tell you why. You ready? Because I think it's gonna work. Because I see a whole bunch of little squiggles there.
Okay, let's go.
Listen, this is our test episode that will eventually end up to at least 20 episodes,
At
right?
least.
And what I was thinking was, we're cool. We're buddies anyway. We hang out. We talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that we're gonna structure this to where we do it our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever you had said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe an additional Sunday only if we feel like doing it while we're chilling anyway, if we are chilling. Right?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Whenever you want.
Yeah,
That's your decision because I don't want to overburden you. That's number one. So, let's hope for, 20 episodes. It's going to take us almost 2 months at that rate. Right? So we've got 2 months worth of work ahead of us. Let's do it. Right?
Yeah.
Secondarily, for the format of the show. This pilot episode, I'm going to tell basically what I'm going to teach. And some examples and some wisdom. But this stuff is going to be so crazy that eventually people are going to go back to it and they're going to say, well, what's this? What's this? What's that? And even if they don't, you can. You understand?
Yeah, this is my gift for now.
So you can interrogate me, basically, about these different topics for 2 of them per episode, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll end it all with something funny and entertaining, which will be my Professor Sean required listening of the podcast, which will be a rap or sometimes other genre song, which I will express to you the type of lessons that you can learn from this song. And then lastly, to end the whole episode, I will end with a sermon. An actual bona fide sermon of an actual real life lesson that you need to learn.
Real preaching.
Real preaching. And I think that would be the greatest, most award-winning content. What do you think?
I think that structure sounds good. Sounds like there's going to be a lot to digest. Now, are you going to have like some kind of, is there going to be homework in this required listening, or it's up to the audience members themselves to...
I'm going to tell you
take
something.
what they
I'm going
will.
to tell you something in general about Professor Sean. Is that I only speak to people that listen. Right? If you're not listening, if you're not interested, if you're not my demo, bro. Simple, basic. But if you want to learn some shit that, quite frankly, you're never going to learn anywhere else, that's our niche.
You better fucking listen.
And it's to your betterment to listen to me. I'll tell you what to fucking think, and it'll be to your betterment. I'm telling you. The shit is simple. You've been brainwashed. I'm here to decondition you. Make you not a slave. Now let's start our first podcast here in a minute.
Right, well, that's a wrap.
That was just the test. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is our premiere episode for many various and sundry reasons. Would you like to know what and why Professor Sean has decided to become Professor Sean? Would you like to know that, James?
I mean, it's a question that's been on my mind for a while.
Has it now? I bet you it has. Because normally people like me, as you know me as well as you do, never speak. But I've spoken to you and I've been little drip feeding here and there on my YouTube. But the most efficient way is going to be to do this podcast. And, in my emergency to men video on my YouTube, when Trump was elected, I realized that the world was ready to stop the degradation that had been going on for the last 30 years, that I've been watching happen my entire adult life and been fighting against. I'm an OG. Okay? Freedom fighter, as far as I'm concerned.
Freedom fighter.
Yes.
There it is.
Tried and prosecuted in a bullshit court case. We're talking the whole kit and caboodle. I'm a felon, bro. A felon.
Bro.
Yeah. You know what that means? That means that every time I go to rent an apartment or something like that, that they'll oftentimes deny you because you're a felon. Or I say no felons. Or a job or something like that. They made me into a second-class citizen for thinking that I had rights. Can you believe that? And you will hear about things like that. But not just the atrocities and war crimes that have been committed upon me. No, because that would just be a victim. Right?
Sure.
That's a TLC movie. Right?
We don't need any more TLC.
A Lifetime original. No. This is a story of survival. This is a story of crazy shit that I have done that has crafted me into the monster that I am. And I want to make you a monster. I want to teach you how to be a monster so that you can learn that you never should be. What do you think about that? Because I think we don't have enough male monsters right now. We just don't. Not with morals. Now, how can you be a monster and have morals? Is by not stealing from your family, not stealing from your friends. Simple, basic things that you should not do.
Principles.
Now, we've forgotten so many things as society itself has eroded about how we're supposed to act and function in society, as we have delegated that responsibility to who, James?
Our overlords, the government, the schools.
1,000%. Now, why does James know that and you don't? Why, James?
Well, I'd say curiousness. Coming here to Paraguay has opened a lot of things for me, but by chance, somehow, some crazy ass way, I managed to meet you, Sean.
And I red pilled the living shit out of you, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking dark, man. When I first fucking met this guy, I didn't want to come back and see you, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Man, this guy's pretty fucking dark.
Yeah. But this guy, he tells me that. He tells dude, I didn't know if I could come back, dude. You're too dark.
It's pretty dark, man.
But then he realized something about me. What did he realize?
Even though you might be very well the most dark person I ever met, you are a good person, Sean.
Thank you. I am a good person.
You have a lot of things to teach people if they are willing to listen.
Yes. Because I'm all about tribalism. Would you like me to talk about tribalism, or what would you like to talk about?
I think you brought up the topic of tribalism now, and it sounds like it's the sort of thing that we should go into to further kind of lay the foundation.
Man, here it is. And women to a certain degree. Your duty is to create the most resources and prosperity for your tribe as a man as humanly possible. That's your job. That is what you need to dedicate your life to, because after you die, you want them to, put incense on your grave, or leave out a pack of cigarettes for your ghost, or whatever you want to do, right? That's your legacy. You see, that's how they say your name after you're dead.
That's what you're remembered for.
Is what your contribution to the tribe. Not about this degree that you got that enabled you to, maybe make an extra $2 at Starbucks, right?
Because all the other jobs weren't fucking real, or just weren't there in the marketplace.
You know, this tribalism that you've been taught is fake.
It's fabrication.
Baseballs, barbecues, and ball games.
Beer.
Yeah.
Christ.
Actually, sports is some of the worst of it. Like, sports is where they take your internal sensor that you have to want to participate in tribalism, and even down to knowing that in humanity you like to learn the statistics of the enemy tribe and things like that, you know? So, like, you become this repository of useless garbage in your head in this vain attempt to find the thing that surrounds you.
Yeah, but just taking that base masculine drive and just putting it into something like a group sports fucking game so that you can watch these people, you know, and idolize them instead of actually being, you know, the fucking man in your own life.
But when I talk to you about these things, I want you to understand that I don't think less of you for falling prey to these things. You have never known freedom in your life if you are the target demo. After 9/11, the world changed. We used to be a very different place, the whole entire world. And you don't understand the tyranny that's being lifted by the current president. The broad sweeping things and the dismantling of the administrative fourth branch, the illegal fourth branch. The fifth branch is the media. And that's coming out more and more. But you never knew better. Yes, sir. What do you think?
I think that's just entirely true, to be honest. Like, just conditioning upon conditioning that's, you know, been laid on, and you can't even see, you know, what baseline's supposed to look like.
This all happened because, well, we're going into a whole different topic. You know, I mean, we're going to have to get into old slave training manuals for you to understand why you are the way you are today. But we're not going to go there. This was meant out of compassion.
Yeah,
I understand why you're here, because I'm going to teach you stuff with Professor Sean. There's a good segue.
Many segues to come, don't worry about
that you're never going to hear elsewhere. This is your one-stop shop for enlightenment, if you would so choose to have it. Okay? I will teach you the secrets that have been going on for thousands of years to repress you. So that way you can do what?
Escape and evolve.
And evolve to use them for yourself, for your tribe.
There it is. Look at that, just manufactured an open and closed loop scenario without even knowing it.
Because life, gentlemen, is about your ability to punish your enemies.
And reward your friends.
Exactly.
Hey.
My brother.
There it is.
So, you want to hear some real G shit, listen to Professor Sean. And listen to my history, listen to my war stories, as I call them, right? The war stories are good, aren't they?
Yeah, you don't know where these stories where they're gonna start, when they're gonna finish, bro. Like,
now you know how somebody like me, James, ends up making a podcast like this is because, number one, the statute of limitations runs out. Right. Or secondarily, they did things so cleanly with such precision that they realize at a certain point, usually due to the previous, that they're untouchable.
Mm.
And they realize that the only person that can damn them is themselves.
Mm.
And then they realize,
What do they realize, Sean?
they would never fucking do that. That being said, I will tell you many things that I can tell you. But I believe me, the darkness I know. You will never know, unless you're a kingmaker. We talked about the kingmakers. The kingmakers are going to be a rare breed.
It's going to be a...
So let's hear some of the basics. All right, we're going to tease the kingmaker there. We're just teasing the kingmaker.
Just a little tease. Just a little drip feed.
But here's what you're going to learn just on the podcast, because these people don't need to pay nothing. We want to help them. We want to help them. All right, number one, how to get any woman you want. Really, really cheap. And I'm not talking about prostitutes. I'm talking about normal working girls. Because ultimately, men, what do we want? We want the best quality for the least hassle and money.
This is factual.
This is like the literal fact, right? So I'm going to teach you where to get and how to keep the cheapest pussy. That's the best pussy. What do you think?
I think you're spoiling with this first episode. I know you too well at this point, and I know we can have this single conversation in many different ways, but I'm intrigued to see how you're going to break it down. And this
no, the
first
thing is,
iteration.
dude, what you don't understand is what you guys are getting here on this podcast, and this should be its own little what I'm teaching you, okay? Is that I do $500 an hour private consulting, and actually people pay it, okay?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That being, I've literally sent him screenshots because I like to brag, right? So,
there's screenshots every day for something.
So the thing is, guys, the thing is like you're getting that shit for free. So be thankful. Don't argue with me. Just listen. Is it that hard?
It works out better, honestly.
Mommy, this is my wife. Come here.
Special introduction.
First, Mommy, I need 1 pack cigarette, but say hello very fast.
Hello.
That is my beautiful trophy wife.
Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly well behaved, trained very well. She knows she's trained. Mommy, listen, come. Saying, I train you very good, trainador. I train you for a good wife.
Yes.
I am good trainer for good wife.
Yes.
Say
Every day.
say it very loud.
Very loud.
Okay, very good girl. I love you. Give me a hug.
I love you.
Oh, they're so sweet together.
Oh yeah, I love her so much. She's perfect. But I'm only this way because I've fucked literally hundreds of girls, guys. I'm tired of chasing pussy. What you want to do so badly, I'm tired of.
Honestly, I've heard a lot of the things he's done, to be honest, and a lot of these pickup artist dudes, a lot of these other fucking red pill content creators.
I'm gonna let you talk for a minute while I smoke.
Oh, nice. So yeah, like, there's a lot of guys out here in this space for like teaching that sugar daddy game shit, or like, obviously like pickup has its place and dating app stuff has its place, but the way they describe it, it's very like A plus B equals C. There's no finesse in it. There's no psychology in it. There's no actual process where you win the mind
100% of the time.
100% of the time. Like, honestly, like, the stuff this dude has in his head, it's like he's a walking 48 laws of power, you know, the art of seduction manual, plus a bunch of other fucking books that have existed throughout time.
The Art of War.
The Art of War.
Very important, required reading. If you have the high ground and the favor of God, you will always win.
Always.
Every time.
Facts. Don't be like Anakin. Obi-Wan had the high ground for a reason.
So anyway, all right, that's number 3 or 4. I don't even know. Anyway, what else will I teach you? Ancient history. The things that have been repressed from you from knowing, right? Like the actual story of how we got to be this fucked up, right? Like what's been going on for the past 40 years, right? Alex Jones was right, by the way.
There's haters out here chatting shit
Just
about
to
Alex
let you
Jones.
know, what did they say about Alex? He said they're turning the frogs gay. And then it comes out that, oh my God, chemicals are making frogs gay. Even the most crazy thing that they ever fact-checked him on, he was right. So, like, I'm so tired of being ashamed of being an Alex Jones fan. That man trained me for, like, 20 years. I'm a student of Alex Jones. But I'm a student of other things. And the student of long-form radio, which was around way before podcasts. I've been listening to this shit since the 80s. I'm an expert in so many different things from qualified professionals that I have listened to on a regular basis.
I don't think a lot of our listeners probably even heard of long-form radio before. So they're just like podcasts existed like on the radio?
Yeah.
And they just talk about like any subject.
Depended upon the show at the time would have different themes that they would have guests on for. So like some were sciencey, some were spiritual, some were this, some were that, some were about remote viewing. You know what I mean? I met with Ed Dames. He ran a government program that trained professional psychics. I was one of his students. That's a story for another day.
Jesus.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, that remote viewing stuff isn't a joke. I've looked into it a bit about myself, but even I have not heard that story yet.
I know, that's a darker story.
That's fuck.
I ended up falling in with a Luciferian, and it was crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So real fucking cult stuff.
The darkness.
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
Oh,
Got real life Bane right here, bro. It's not a joke.
But you know, the thing is, James, I can kill for you. I would murder someone for you.
It's a very, very nice thing for you to say, Sean. And to be
Yeah.
fair, I think I believe it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
If I had $1,000, I probably wouldn't loan you $1,000, but I would loan you 100. Do you understand? You say?
I mean, thanks, Sean. That's a nice gesture. I like
Because
that.
I'll tell you what happened, kids, was that my whole life fell apart, and I decided I no longer wanted to work. And you know how old I was?
I think you said it was 23.
Well, no, that's when I stopped working for the man. But I still worked for myself until 38.
Yeah, but they're both two different things, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 milestones. But 38, I said I'm no longer going to generate income. I'm just going to live off of my future or my past spoils of war. Yes. So I retired at 38. From the age of 38 until recently, because I decided to do some things that were so legal and so easy that then they are. You must admit, James, they are both legal and easy.
Yeah, I've seen,
The evidence.
the evidence of such working.
Love that 85-inch, don't you? Love that 85-inch.
Yeah, the reflection's blinding me from this angle. Actually.
So anyway, the point is, and what were we watching? Battlestar Galactica the other day.
Yeah, I watched episode 1 for the first time. It was a lot to take in.
It's pretty intense, though.
There's a lot of context.
Killed
that
a
was
baby in like the first 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, just casual neck snap, like.
It was crazy, bro. They don't put that shit on TV anymore, do they?
No, like.
But ask yourself, James, why?
Because.
Okay,
Exactly.
but that's a question
Why
for another
exactly?
day because it's so deep, right? We've
Yeah,
got to
this
get
is
back on
true.
track.
Well, what topic are we on now?
We're still pointing out shit that I'm going to teach these motherfuckers.
I think we've pointed out 5 things or 6 things now.
I've got stacks,
It
bro.
was on history.
First of all, okay, wait. So we got girls,
Girls,
treachery by the state,
treachery, tribalism.
tribalism. No, tribalism we went over.
We gone over that. Okay. History.
Right, ancient, how you've been enslaved for the past 40 years, so that you can start to decondition yourself on your own time as well, right? And, women. I always said women. Anyway, let's move on. Next thing, how to make money.
A very, very...
Now, that alone is worth the price, and that's really why people pay me money, right? Now, I have had people that pay me money for other reasons, like to teach them how to get girls and stuff, but for the most and better part, yeah, they want to make more money. And if you want to make more money,
we all want to make more fucking money.
listen to Professor Shaw, all right? So that's why I'm going to teach you how to make money, become independent, where you no longer have to work for who?
Your boss.
The man.
The fucking, air quotes, man who you have to call your boss. How embarrassing is that?
And I think that's an emergency. So we have to go over that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Remind me. That's the emergency. Because people are struggling. I don't want my people struggling.
Yeah, if our listeners are struggling, it's not what we want for them.
Yeah. It's not about making money. I'm not like I'm not going to name drop people that I'm disgusted with for what they do in gatekeeping information. I'm not going to name drop them, but I'm going to tell you that it's fucked up. And it's what the ruling class in general has been doing, and they're trying to mimic it. Gatekeeping information to keep the masses... What's the word I'm looking for?
Not conditioned.
Placitated. Is that even a word?
Kind of,
Placid?
placid.
Yeah, just like,
Flaccid.
Just
dumb cows who just continue to go about their day.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened was shortly before World War II, the elites decided that they were going to make you so weak that the thought of revolting against them was literally not possible. So it's that they no longer had to fear you, because it's not that you wouldn't, it's that you couldn't. And now you can't. I can defend myself. It would take a lot to take me down, dude. Because the problem is, and I explained this to James, and he thought it was masterfully put, I know so much that I would be so dangerous in jail.
Oh, I remember this conversation.
Right? Like, the things I could teach people to do, I would very quickly leverage in my direction, to where if they did put me in jail, they would be forced to put me in better conditions.
Leveraging the most violent, well-connected people inside these institutions is, not what the government fucking needs.
See, I will teach you the real deal, kids. This is not some fucking cookie cutter shit. I'm gonna teach you how to own shit. I've been running games since I was 8, kids, and I'm 46 years old. That's some facts.
Yeah, he's told me a lot of these stories, man. Like, there's gonna be a lot of
I give him the Kingmaker service for free.
Yeah, I'm in the process. It's incrementalism. That's a topic.
I will teach you the concept of incrementalism, which in and of itself, right? I mean, where you have to learn how to slowly get people to adapt to what your ultimate will is and see things through slowly. Okay? Knowing that victory is assured. And planning upon it. And then building upon that. Looking at what the ultimate goal is, and then working at it in steps, affecting the change that you want. So, for example, you want your girlfriend to suck your cock more. Let's say, for example. Here's a good...
That's a good example.
Here's a good example. First, what you'll do is you'll say is, hey, I really like it when you suck my cock. And do something that incentivizes her to suck it more often. Okay, that's the first step. Whether that be eating her out, which I don't do, but things of that nature. getting her to suck it more often.
Hmm.
And then you start to express to her how important it is that she sucks it more often.
And what that means to you.
And what that means to you.
Hmm.
That's the second step of incrementalism is the appreciation phase.
Hmm.
Okay. The third step in this process
Third step.
would be that you no longer want to reward her for doing it. You simply want her to do it, but still do it more frequently.
It's becoming a baseline behavior.
When you need to make just a baseline behavior. So now instead of rewarding her with
Eating her out.
whatever, you're rewarding her with your gratitude, which costs you nothing, which costs you nothing.
But, you know, it's meaning more and more to her. Maybe you're taking this gratitude away in other places.
Was that eloquently put as an example?
Yeah, I think, you know, everyone can see, everyone's like, right, I want my dick sucked more. This is what I need to do to get it.
She has to be incentivized initially because a blowjob, like a job, is work for a girl.
It's work.
This is typically, I would say, in my large amounts of experience, 9 times out of 10 that your cock is in a girl's mouth, she doesn't want it there. By the way.
She's just doing it to make you happy.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10. And especially when you're telling them to lick your balls and suck your cock while you drink coffee and smoke cigarettes and watch the NBC for half an hour, 45 minutes at a time. They don't want to do that, bro. But girls do a lot of stuff to make daddy happy, though.
Oh, man.
Have you seen all the things that girls do to make daddy happy yet?
I've seen what he does with his wife here. Nothing quite so crude as that, but I've seen, you know, the commands in real time.
What happened that time that girl that you were listening to classic pickup advice? This is a good example. The time you were listening to the classic pickup advice and ghosting a girl for 3 days or some stupid shit, right? And then like you're like, oh no, man. And then like I'm like, dude, you need
go
to
no contact, bro. Listen, I'm gonna go no contact, and then she's gonna reach out, bro. Honestly, she will.
You know what I said to you? We gotta add something to your skill stack, bro. Me and James love these catchphrases people use. We find it so absurd.
So fucking lame.
Anyway, in his skill stack now
Yeah, fucking skills.
is the art of love bombing.
Yeah.
It's a fine art.
It can be tailored to each individual, but there's some there are some, you know, hallmarks of it, which I'm sure Sean will go into more detail of at some point.
But that is, of course,
Another episode.
you know, we've got so much to teach you guys. You know, and this never ends. Because I continually grow. So, like, as I grow, you will grow as well.
Evolution is imminent.
How many times have I said to you, James? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Yeah. You know, that's what it's all about, kids. What else am I going to teach you? How long are we in now?
We've been running for
Oh
about
my.
30 minutes.
All right. Well, we've got some time. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what would you like to talk about? What's a good topic for... when I'm talking about these topics, guys, I'm saying these are all subjects that we're going to have like an hour dedicated to.
I think, you know, before... Oh, this is kind of two topics. I saw this happen in real time, basically. Sean was telling me a story from one of his previous relationships. And whilst he did that, he dictated to ChatGPT how he was going to write about it in the form of like the 48 Laws of Power as like a story sample. So you could teach people how to use ChatGPT in that kind of AI, or dictate it in a way which is good.
I can teach you how to create content. I mean, that's part of the money making courses. But yeah, I can certainly teach people how to more effectively use artificial intelligence. And what this would fall into the category of, James, is training an AI, which in the current environment for consumer artificial and consumer, mind you. I'm sure they got better shit.
No,
but for
always.
consumer artificial intelligence,
She's always improving.
which refused to tell my daughter this morning about how she deserved to be a Manhattanite. I shit you not.
Fucking great movie.
They, have you ever watched the movie Cruel Intentions? I am basically Sebastian on crack when it comes to women.
It's like Sebastian if Sebastian was like Eminem at the same time or some shit.
Anyway, where was? Oh yeah, so you got to train the AI, but you got to do it every session. And so you want to do it the most effective way, but get the best results. And I'll teach you how to do that. It's easy. But another really big thing that I am going to teach is I had it a second ago when you were talking about the AI and our talk about that. Is command. I am going to teach you about honor and command and some straight gangster mafia shit. All right, I'm going to make you into the best man that you can be morally while still keeping your hands open to all of your opportunities.
Yeah.
There are ways that, look, I have known people that I love very dearly that would die for me, give me the shirt off their back, that also rob for a living. Right? And this interesting dichotomy of being all good and all bad, with your only true morals lying within who?
Yourself.
Yourself, whom you're ultimately accountable to. Not the government, not the church, not your wife, not your son, not your daughter, not your friends.
Not your friends.
You have to like what you see when you look in the mirror and say, you know what, that's a fucking winner. That's a winner.
That's a winner right there.
I like winners and I'm a winner.
I like that guy in the mirror right there.
Who else is a winner that I know and is criticizing me? Not many. Not many.
It's that phrase, hate always comes from below.
The squeakiest wheel makes the most noise.
It's an interesting thing you said though, like a lot of, I mean, like any school, any traditional kind of, you know, outlet is not going to say you should become the greatest good and the greatest evil simultaneously. That seems like an impossible concept that most people are going to find it very difficult to wrap their head around.
Because traditionally you would have to be kind of crazy. Right? And the problem is, I'm going to be honest with you, James. And I've talked to you about this before. And this is a good little, what I can teach people about is the 20 personality types or so. The 20 robots walking around. All right, let's see. I am going to take a break and take a piss for 1 second while you explain. I want to hear you explain the 20.
Okay, well, I mean, we never broke down the 20 in each type, but I'll kind of summarize it as much as I can. Essentially, you know, there's only really 20 types of people that exist. They're like 20 different characters in like an RPG game. You know, there's only so many things that people quote unquote care about. There's only so many drives people have as human beings. And, you know, because of these limited thumb screws, thank you. These limited thumb screws that people have, these things that people will do anything to achieve or to have, you know, to make sure that they don't lose, it can become very predictable to find out what someone's thumb screw is, because there can only really be one of these 20 types of people.
And there's that accounts for about 95% of the population. The other 5% are fucking crazy because we are unique individuals, but we're sane in an insane world full of sheep.
Yeah, I'm literally talking to one of them right now. Like, he's trying to pass his skill stack on. Can you fucking believe it? Like,
I'm trying to teach. All right. Let's explain to the guys why they're not getting any pussy. Let's do that. Let's do a real display of power.
the real display of pussy.
All
not
right.
Getting power.
About how you have been demoed and curated into a, if you are, which you may or may not be, repression. Right? Is that 10% of the men out there now know how to be men? Only. Naturals. We had to learn it on our own, or we had natural proclivities, or Italian fathers like myself. Right? And we are men. And the women want us. Very, very much. Right? And it's very easy for us, and we hone this craft to make it easier with more experience, and it becomes this self-perpetuating cycle to where this 10% predator class is fucking all of the girls. And the other 90% are left with
The table scraps.
So what we gotta do, guys, is get you into the predator class. Am I right? Am I right?
There it is.
Am I right? Am I right?
There's only so much room in the predator class, so.
Nah, you all can be in the predator class. If you're just listening, you'll be in the predator class.
Well, this is true, but like not everyone's gonna be listening, so you know. Brain space is for those people.
Well, that's why it's your job to like, subscribe, and share.
Hey. We've not dropped any kind of shit plugs literally until right now. Like that's actually kind of crazy. Like a lot of the times these guys are like, hey guys, it's your boy back with another one. Like and subscribe and share, bro.
You ready? You ready, James? You ready? My life is fucking awesome. I'm not thirsty. Think about that. Look at my daughters giving me a hug right now. Oh,
Very adorable.
You know, say hi, Lohan. Say hi.
Hola.
You know, I am literally set for the rest of my life at the age of 46, and I haven't worked since I was 38. So tell me, James. By the way, I'm also ungovernable. So, at where exactly do I have to be thirsty for somebody to subscribe? Tell me that.
I mean,
Oh, I also make a significant amount of money in a third world country. So let's just figure it out. I want to know where I got to be thirsty.
but the well's gonna magically dry up somehow, somewhere. Fuck knows. Like, yeah, I mean, like when you've come to that situation in your life and you've got all this knowledge and you know, the sorts of people that you know, and you have the track record that you have. Like, it's basically impossible to kind of lack anything for too long, really.
This is called the pimp rig.
The pimp rig. Now, I wondered if or when we were going to start discussing this concept. I forgot to ask off
Boys,
camera.
you know what I'm going to teach you? I'm going to give you the greatest gift of all time.
It is the greatest gift. I've been enamored with it since I've met Sean.
The fine art of pimping.
No.
The fine art of... I will teach you the difference. Oh, we haven't gotten to the preaching show. But you will learn about finesse pimping, gorilla pimping, all the pimping.
All the pimping.
And how you're being pimped. Oh
shit.
Fuck, yeah. Oh, damn.
Dropping that heat right now.
Yeah. Pimping
Damn,
needs...
son.
I mean, I'm thinking we need a 2-part episode tomorrow, which is... Not double your time, Mr. Busy, but like the first section's going to be on making money and some basics, and the second we should do pimping in general and how you're being pimped and how you pimp others, right?
Yeah, like that's definitely...
That's a good structure for
That's a
tomorrow.
good structure.
So that's what you're being teased with. for the immediate gratification, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dopamine is in short supply. It needs to be boosted up every several minutes, or else.
Yo, nigga, let me hit this shit. Hold on.
That's fucking smoking some more weed out of his pipe.
Which, is not even really that horrible to say because, who knows if I could be smoking cloves.
Cloves.
Yeah, I'm a clove smoker. I love cloves. I think we've got a rule from this point is that I must say I was not just smoking weed. And in the future, we will address any type of weed smoking that occurred by anybody
At any time.
as cloves.
Clove smoking.
And that will be our little thing as cloves. I will express my love for cloves and clove cigarettes.
And the luck of the Irish.
And I'll actually, I'm going to teach my wife that too. Get me a clove cigarette.
Get me a clove cigarette.
Yeah. I love it.
That's funny.
All right, so where were we?
We were going over tomorrow's lesson. What were we going to talk about?
Yeah, tomorrow's lesson we've got covered.
Mm-hmm.
How many topics do we have already?
Man, we'd have to sort of...
We're just kind of brainstorming topics, guys, because this guy has been a soldier for months.
We'd have to get AI to just
No, we don't want
see
AI.
what topics are in the video.
No. We want to keep this simple, stupid.
Well, we're going to keep it simple, stupid. I'm talking for me, man. We've been running for 46 minutes already. It needs to be summarized for me real quick, at least.
Well, this episode is going to be what I'm going to teach you and the introduction and darks. I was thinking about this. We could call the podcast The Mafia Jew.
The Mafia Jew.
Because, I am Jewish, maybe, by birth, but it's just too triggering, I think. It's just too far.
You could be the Mafia Jew.
And people hate Jews, which is cool. I like that.
It could be on the right side of YouTube's algorithm.
I love Jews, by the way. I want to make that very clear, is that I am Syrian Lebanese because my mother is a prostitute. And she had sex outside of her marriage, and I was the byproduct of that. When by the way, a little insight into my glorious mother, is that after that, when she was discovered for having cheated and now being pregnant, much like my own wife now, if you think about it, the first one.
Yeah.
Remember cheated on me, got pregnant, told me the day after my birthday?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story made short.
Jesus Christo.
After that, she met a wonderful man named Michael. An Italian man. She had a penance for the Italians. Love them gangsters. Love them gangsters.
They love fucking
Her first husband was a gangster too. Yeah. Not my father though. I always thought he was. But my father, the man who adopted me at 3 years old, was a good man. Taught me well. And we'll go into some of the lessons that my father taught me. And I will tell you, like my father told me, what you do not learn from me, life will teach you. Listen to that very closely. What you do not learn from me, life will teach you. It is in your best interest to listen to me. Because you will learn, bro. I'm sorry, but you'll learn.
Yeah, I've known you for about 2-3 months now. And all the stuff you've told me over this time, it honestly sounds like you've lived 2 or 3 people's lifetimes.
And I haven't told him a tenth of it.
Jesus. Oh, man.
I was raised by thugs, schooled by killers, and learned my mathematics skills from real drug dealers. Now, there are some things I will never talk about. For litigious reasons.
Litigious.
Not because of moral reasons.
It's definitely never because of moral reasons.
No, there are things I don't do because of moral reasons.
Well, we're talking about speaking about not.
Remember, criminals, no drugs, no guns, no kids. No guns, no drugs, no kids, and you will have a lot less problems. Just to let you know, guys. No guns, no drugs, no kids.
Straightforward rule to abide by for life. You know, you can't fuck with that rule.
But I'm like an attorney, guys. I'm not going to incriminate myself, and even if I did by United States code, because I am kind of an attorney when it comes to these things.
Through necessity.
Through necessity. You cannot incriminate yourself. It's against the law. You're not allowed to be the sole witness in your own...
what, in your own, like, not crime, but
crime,
like,
yeah.
Interesting.
You're not allowed. So, like, if I killed Princess Diana, for example,
yeah.
and I came to the police and I said, I killed Princess Diana, right? I'm teaching you guys some shit right now. Holy shit. All right. If I go and I say, I killed Princess Diana, they might arrest me. I mean, especially if she's just been killed.
Because she's a public figure as well.
But ultimately, I won't go to jail, even if she's dead and I killed her, unless they can prove with other things that I did.
We need evidence outside of your confession.
Yes. Interesting loophole.
Yeah, that's why, like, some
And
people...
who's just a stupid idiot, right? Who's a parasite idiot, right? I mean, who's delusional? Well, the thing is, I know the way the world really works, and then I know the way they tell you it works. And when you tout to me the way they tell you it works, I laugh in your face, and I'm the crazy one.
Well, something I've learned while being with Sean is, don't tell him retarded terms like skill stack. And secondly, do not kind of go against very basic principles.
Like, the thing is
should
that
be upheld.
I mean, an old country song goes, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Right? I mean, you gotta stand for something. And if you can't stand for yourself, you can't stand up for yourself, who are you gonna stand up for?
Well, fucking no one. Or whoever you were told to stand up for.
You can't even do that properly because you can't even do it for yourself.
At least you can be indoctrinated to doing it for someone else.
Serving them, but really taking care of them. If they needed your help, would you be able to help them? Probably not.
Yeah, that's a different...
Yeah, like you're
thing.
you're not capable at that point. You just don't have the skill stack. So
you have to believe in yourself to have a full skill set.
like, what you've got to know is like, okay, here's the tip. All right, this is like some shit that like people pay like a lot of money for. You ready?
Okay, what?
People love this. I'm giving this away for free.
Okay, let's hear it.
James, do you want to know how to do anything you want in life? Anything. I mean, literally anything.
Literally anything.
You could fuck Mariah Carey. All right? Which, I'm just saying, she still looks good.
He looks pretty fucking good.
I'm so fucking OG, bro. But anyway, let's go on.
Okay, yeah.
Would that be
Tell
interesting?
Me. That would be interesting.
First, you figure out what the fuck you want, which most people can't do.
Step one.
That's step one. I'm not going to elaborate upon that, but we can go into all of this later. Number two, you figure out how to fucking do it. Now, you might not like what that is, but you figure it out. And there's always a way. There's always a way to fuck Mariah Carey.
There's other people who've done it.
I imagine with enough money, of course, or enough power, or just enough sheer force of will. Right? I mean, there is a way that you, personally, listening to this right now, viewer, could have sex with like 50, 60-year-old Mariah Carey, however old she is, if you really wanted to.
If that was really your...
If that was your deal. If that was your cup of tea.
If that's what you stood for.
Yeah. If that's you got to stand for something or you'll die,
I'll
Franny.
stand on this hill to fuck where I carry Sean.
All right, so you've decided that. You figured it out. Now, ready for step number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Do it.
That's the secret to life, kids.
So let's recap. Step 1, know what you want. Step 2, find out how to do it. Step 3, do it.
And in
So
figuring
simple.
out those steps, you will figure out if something is worth doing or not.
So you get
Does
to
this
step-
add to my skill stack? Does this add to my Sheba reserves? I don't know what the fuck you want. Right? Does it? Okay, let's do it. Does it not?
Then fuck it.
Don't fucking do it, bro. It's fucking stupid. You shouldn't do it. Yeah, that's kind of my professional advice for $500 an hour.
Just, slightly more, what's the word? Situationally beneficial, I guess.
And that, kids, is how you're a mafia consigliere. All right? So let's move on. What else are we teaching here, James?
Obviously, we've kind of gone over the financial independence stuff.
How to use your money once you get it.
And how not to lose it.
And how not to lose it. Lifestyle inflation. I'm going to tell you my downfall. I'm going to tell you how I failed. See, because I'm fortunate enough to make 2 fortunes in my life. Well, at least. Few. I mean, it depends on what you call a fortune, because I think of a fortune as 6-figure plus. But, I mean, those little $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 quote-unquote fortunes, I mean, that's every month, kind of, at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there want to know how to make fucking 30, 40, 50 grand a month.
Well, that's not a fortune, though. Fortune's when you save it up for a while.
When the war chests are full.
You got those 50 AKs in the hallway. You got thousands of rounds of ammo. You got everything in it. You got gold in the safe. You got silver, because you believe in silver more than gold anyway, and that's a story for another day, right? But I've taught you that story.
Ounce of silver.
Anyway, you got everything you could ever possibly need, and now what do? You just wait for the end, because you know it's all coming soon. And that's what I did, except I fucked up. I fucked up, guys, because no one taught me. I want to teach you, so you don't make the same mistake.
There's so much information here. There's so many things. Would you recommend that people find out what it is that they want first, or would you give people like a base plan first or something? About
my greatest advice, and I've told you this when you're starting out on this journey, is you have to. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. This is really good. There's a movie called American History X. Anyway, it's about a racist,
Edward
blah, blah,
Norton's
blah.
in it, right?
That's not the most important part of this whole story.
It's a good movie though.
It's a good movie. Point is, in that story, is that at one point, this person that felt so much one way, he was dedicated to being like this white supremacist, right? Was approached by a doctor that was a very smart Morgan Freeman motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to ask yourself a question. All the things you believe, everything that you believe is true, everything that you live your life for. And in this case, he's talking about being a Nazi, but in my case to you, I'm talking about you being a slave and following the rules and listening to everything that's spoon-fed to you as lies. And all the stuff that you believe is true. maybe even your happy pickup artist, other podcasters, right? Are you happy? Are you really genuinely happy? And if the answer is yes, never listen to this podcast again. Right? And just move on and think I'm just some fucking lunatic. But if you're not happy,
If you're not happy,
if you think there's something that's just not right,
if you haven't got the results that you've been looking for everywhere else,
then maybe you need to change.
it's just a thought.
It's just something for you to figure out for yourself. And after you do that, after you figure out what you want.
So there's actually a step 0.
That is step 0 that most people, these NPC RPG motherfuckers, never do. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
But you're on the road to wellness. Right? I mean, if you want to be.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, the thing is, I can lead you to water, but I cannot force you to drink. I have tried so many times to try to force people to drink. And I am, James, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired.
You feel like making this podcast is a way you can do this without, the emotional exhaustion of trying to show
There's
people
only
their
so
ways.
much, because I was explaining this to somebody the other day, is that, so I tell you to do something because XYZ is going to happen, and you think that you know better, and you don't do what I tell you, and then what happens is XYZ to the T, like a fucking prophet, right? And then maybe you get defensive about it, and thinking I'm going to tell you I told you so. No, I just wanted you to do the right thing in the first place. You know what I mean? And there's only so many times that can happen to you in your life.
Before
Before you're just tired of people taking your professional advice for granted. That's the Walmart example.
The Walmart example.
Remember?
The Cookie Man.
No, the Walmart example is my attorney. He got it.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, you told that story in the same time.
There's so many stories.
There's been a lot of stories. Sometimes someone tells me a story, and I'm like, do you mean this guy, or this guy, or this guy? You're like, no, I actually mean this guy. I'm like, fuck. Like,
on a more funny note, you know what I sent him? I sent him yesterday an audio message randomly, because I do this to this poor bastard. And I'm like...
It happens.
I know. I'm like, dude, this one time... And I did this, real, thuggish. I made it, a real, thuggish accent. I was like, yo, dog, this one time... like that. I was like... That I'd basically, I'd fucked this girl in her ass... and then ordered a pizza and told her she had to leave when the pizza arrived because I wanted to eat alone. And then, when the pizza arrived, I only had 100, and the pizza driver wouldn't accept it. So I made her pay for the pizza, and then I still made her leave.
Oh, it's so fucking brutal.
I'm not that man anymore, by the way.
Only at heart.
I'm not like that anymore. I've softened so much. I'm so soft now.
Yeah, I mean, some of the shit you told me about fucking stuff you used to do, people you used to run with, You know.
Did I ever show you a picture of my boy in Argentina? The bodybuilder guy?
Ruben.
Well, I didn't want you to say his name, but
God damn it.
yeah, one episode is going to be about Ruben, and my apology to Ruben. Actually, it's going to be live here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
No, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to the podcast and explain why I wronged this great mafia man, and beg him for his forgiveness in our podcast, and a display of humbleness and compassion to his feelings, as well as to make him feel special, because he is a special guy. And he's a brother of mine, really. Brothers fight.
Brothers fight.
But he's an intimidating looking fellow, is he not?
Yeah, like... you don't want to fuck with that dude. Like, he's got some serious stuff going on.
You know, this one time, this guy, he blew... You could ask my daughter, like, and my wife. Someone blew smoke in my daughter's face.
Oh, fuck,
and
yeah.
he punched her outright. He punched the guy out right then and there on the spot.
Man, that's some serious fucking...
Knocked him out.
That's a serious soldier right there.
Much respect, Ruben. I'm sorry. We're going to talk. But, these are my friends.
That's a point, actually. We should probably have a episode about networking, or your version of that.
That is a good idea.
Because classic networking is like the gayest thing ever.
So gay.
And it's like, hey, I work for X company. I'm a salesman.
In your I liberate you and teach you how to make money online segment. Also, I'm going to teach you how to pimp and start OnlyFans agencies. Also, not even have to start OnlyFans agencies, but just profit off of every transaction. But that's for another day. Listen,
There's so much juice.
I'm going to teach you. Do you see why I can't go to regular jail, James?
There's...
Are we done yet? Like, have I satisfied? Do I entertain?
Are you entertained?
Are you entertained?
God fucking damn it, bro.
I am a gladiator, kids. I am a soldier. And I am disabled. I have Tourette's syndrome. I moved my jaw like a circus freak until I was 38 years old. How the living fuck, guys, right? But, you know, there's some people that look me straight in the face and tell me that I'm nothing special.
The tenacity of these individuals, Ron.
I mean, really, at what point is it almost abuse? At what point?
The question.
It really does. And that's where I kind of drew the line. But it's okay. And I talked, see, how do I explain this? Where are we on our check? Because I don't want to overstay you. Oh, I can look at my watch. That's right.
We're like nearly 7 o'clock.
All right, we got an hour.
We're probably going to have to put the charger in sometime soon.
All right.
We're good.
Charger is right there if you want to grab it, because I can always just do a dissertation. But
Drop a dissertation.
yeah, I'm going to speak for a minute about what I did today, all right? Which is that men like me, when we need help, we're too smart. We can't talk to therapists. We can't talk to normal people, like, because we just don't have the same wavelength as people that are like liberal normies and things that are 90% of the time attracted to the psychotherapy area, okay? What the best option for you, if you are a high-value, smart man that needs counseling that's going to help you and have you make actual breakthroughs, right? Doctors of Philosophy. Doctors of Philosophy, shout out to Nikolai, my personal therapist, who is a doctor of psychology and philosophy. He has 2 doctorates. He's a great man. And he helped me understand that today people only respect results. You see? And they don't respect the process. They want to see the finished product, then be proud of you. Now, what I said to him is, I said, but what value are these people because they abandoned me during my journey? Why would I want to give to them the fruits of my success unless they cheered me on the whole time that I was creating the successes that they would then, therefore, benefit from? And it was at that point that he said, you really can't. And, that's the way that it is. If you're not with me on the way up, first of all, if you're not there for me when I'm down, we got a problem. If you're not there for me when I'm on my way up, something's up. And you're not going to be there when I am up. Actually up. Now, what up means for me and what up means for other people is very, very different. Up means almost infinite power. It means that I can get you a beach house in Argentina or a private tour of the pyramids if I want, which I can do both of those things, as well as many, many others, with a phone call. And, by the way, shout out to VIP concierge service in Argentina. Anybody going to Buenos Aires that wants to have the time of their life, that's available as well. Lots of things are available to my friends. And why do you deserve that, James? If you're not there for me while I'm building, why should you just get the finished product? That is so fucking asinine. But as my therapist, who is a doctor of philosophy and truly understands the nature of humanity, he said, no one will appreciate your journey. And I had to come to terms with that. So I cut them out in advance.
I think a lot of people who've seen success probably suffer similar ways in which they have people who they thought they were their friends, family members, people who were in their life, told them they couldn't do something, didn't believe in them. Then all of a sudden they've got money, they've got success, they want to know them again. They want to, hey bro, hey Sean, hey James, how's it going? Oh, here you're out there in Paraguay now. Oh, I hear you made all this money now, Sean.
Which is exactly why I apologized to Abe from Reality Kings today.
Ooh.
Actually, yes.
I saw the text messages.
Yeah, Abe is currently in Spain, and me and him worked together for 15 years. I was a super affiliate.
Super affiliates. They make fucking stupid money.
Yeah, stupid money.
Fucking stupid money.
And I did terrible things to my relationship with the company. I was very poor judgment. And now I want to give back to the company for free.
Oh.
Yes. And if he feels that I deserve money, then I will receive.
It's a very, very well worded and well strategized re-entry position.
Yes.
Into a negotiation.
Things you can do when you're not thirsty, kids. You know?
The same concept applies with women as well.
Tell me you didn't see me turn a trick out the other day. Like, pretty much turn around.
Yeah, like, that was fucking.
And I do that shit
intense.
I do that shit for fun, kids. Because I don't need pussy.
I mean, he gives me advice on this shit. I mean, like a couple girls, have approached me and asked me if I would help them with an OnlyFans agency. I'm kind of too busy for that right now, but Sean literally just was like, "Okay, bro, here's what you do," and he literally broke down traffic sources.
I sent you a guide,
He
bro.
sent me a fucking guide. This is for psychology. This is what you want to say. We want to figure out X, Y, Z. and then like fucking
Turn a
proper
freak to a bisexual, and if she flexible, fuck the expletive next to you.
fucking expletive. It's all just problem action solution, isn't it, Sean?
It's all the game, Sebastian.
Oh, these Manhattanites.
They bore me.
They bore me.
Do you know what I fucked so many stupid liberal girls in Portland. like liberalism breeds the stupidest of women.
And they believe are winning.
These
as well.
bitches will fall for anything. Yeah, they as soon as they see a real man. Like, because they're used to these cocks that like tell them like I'm a white dude for Harris.
White dude for Harris. I believe in my daughter's right to choose.
See, these liberal girls, they're so used to the white dudes for Harris because that's what they accept in their lives politically.
Yeah, that's like the brainwashing since like The Simpsons and shit. Like dumb, stupid fucking boyfriend / husband.
Yo, but you know what happens, my friend, when they come across a straight G gangster thug? You know what they do? They wet themselves, bro. They're like, holy shit, this is like every bad stereotype of a dark man that I've ever had, and it turns me on.
It's just like the dark triad on steroids. It's just
Dark
like
triad.
dark-
Is that a skill stack like phrase?
I can't remember what that's from. No, Machiavelli. He talked about the.
I don't know. I don't actually quote Machiavelli like that typically, but that's fine.
You can't quite say that skill stack level, Sean.
That was good though to
Yeah.
quote Machiavelli. I'm very proud of
Yeah.
you, James. That is advanced.
It's advanced. He was Italian, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know the story of Machiavelli? He was
No.
he was in the court of the king. Pissed off the king, got exiled, wrote the prince, got back to court. Basic story.
Nice.
Yeah, not gonna overdraw it. But
Oh, and it was his finesse during the situation that allowed him to get back into court.
it was knowing that if he wrote something to grandize the prince, that the prince would allow him back.
Because you're stroking the prince's ego.
No, because he created something so valuable in the prince. He needed to do something of such value for the king that I'm trying to do for Abe, by the way. Just letting you know, Abe. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you how to get all the targeted traffic you need for free. Yeah, and but automate and scale it too. See, I'm gonna teach these guys how to do it like regularly. And then what I'm going to teach Abe, that I also know how to do,
A ridiculous scale.
is how to do it at a ridiculous scale. Yeah. Anywho.
God damn, there's offers, there's proposal, there's pimping, there's... I don't know what's next, man.
The thing is that if you listen to me, you're going to get a lot of things we call, you ready for them? Options. You don't have options right now, guys. Here's some fucking options. Are you ready for some fucking options? Can I actually give you some options and have you listen to them? Is that possible? Can you get out of yourself?
I see what's possible today. Some powerful words there.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. Like, this is... So much energy just kind of fucking flying around. Like,
And this is good because this...
it's organic.
Do you know why I started Professor Sean? And the thing is, it's too much work. People go, you shouldn't be in your pajamas. You know what? Fuck you. I wear what I want, nigga. Yeah, I should have said. I'm very sorry. I was me. My ghetto-ness coming out. I'm sorry.
He was using bubonics.
I am honestly the most stereotypical black man you will ever meet when it comes down to it.
He's like the blackest white dude I've ever seen.
You know, I mean, I will quote to you the 10 crack commandments in one of our... First, all right. Well, now we're going to lead into the exit where first... I think I've taught you enough about what I'm going to teach you for the day.
This is a strong intro.
Yeah, and now we're going to add the wrap-up, which will probably be about half an hour anyway, which is...
Knowing us.
Huh?
Knowing us.
Yeah. which is going to be my breakdown of the 10 crack commandments
10 crack commandments.
by the notorious Biggie Smalls.
Oh shit.
Yes. And I will say it all to you and express to you the values of each of these things to give you some fast cash if you ever need. Maybe next time we'll go over Hell Yeah by Dead Prez. You know, the one where they're talking about holding up the delivery drivers, which you shouldn't do. By the way, I'm going to tell you that a lot of the things that you'll hear on here, I will have to have disclaimers of as they are for informational and academic purposes only.
Informational purposes only.
These are these are just to let you know.
Entertainment purposes only.
In fact, I might even go further as to say so that you can protect yourself from these things.
We should do a South Park thing. All characters and persons mentioned are as such and not based on real life.
So anyway, all right, the 10 crack commandments. Are we ready? And then after that, you get a sermon, a genuine, bona fide sermon.
Damn, empecemos. Let's go. Let's start.
It's the 10 crack commandments. What? I've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. There's rules to this shit. I wrote me a manual. A step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track and not your wick pushed back. You ready for numero uno?
We're ready. Listo.
Numero uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold, because you know. The cheddar breeds jealousy, especially if that man's fucked up. You'll get your ass stuck up. That's the first commandment, James. What do you think? What do you think about that? First of all, I'll tell you like my father told me. Old mafia guy, my father. Always appear stupider than you are. Always appear less capable than you are. Always appear less rich than you are.
Important lessons your father taught you. I would say that this makes a lot of sense. You know, there's a lot of jealous people that pretend to be your friends, disguise themselves as your friends, really enemies or spies. They might want to use that knowledge for their own benefit or against you, or to turn other people against you.
Various and sundry reasons.
I still love that word. Various and sundry reasons.
All right, on to number two.
Numero dos.
Number two, never let them know your next move. Don't you know bad boys move in silence and violence? What does that mean, James? That means, and I'm going to tell you what that means because I'm better equipped. In the song that we're going to talk about for a second here, Down Ass Bitch by Ja Rule, right? One of the lines in that is where she says, what do you know about extreme measures? And what you have to really ask yourself, kids, is, and I want to improve this for you, but what do you know about extreme measures? Really ask yourself that and say, what do I know about extreme measures? Like, what if I had to take extreme measures? What would I actually do? Go to the police? What? But what if that doesn't work? You have to make extreme measures. What do you do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You come to someone like me, typically, but do it yourself. Become the center of your own justice. Now, in that world where you live, at that point, which is not the world you live in now, because now people can hit you and you can't hit them, but in the world where people can hit each other, it's a very different world. People act by different rules. But the bad ones, they know how to be bad. And they move in silence and violence.
And more often than not, they get away with it because they know how to. Professionals. You know,
elaborate on it.
I feel like, a lot of people, they don't live lives where they have to think about extreme measures.
But the problem is, James, is that the real world will find you.
And then
It's
these
all
extreme
around
measures have to be made to deal with the real world.
Someone
When
could,
the cute systems fall apart, that you've been led to believe
all
will
the
protect
things
you.
that you believe to be true, as we talked about a couple of minutes ago.
Real red pill stuff. Real red pill stuff.
All right, enough of this. Now, number 3. Number 3, never trust nobody. Your mom will lock that ass up if she's properly gassed up. For that fast buck, she'll be waiting in the bushes to light your ass up. Everybody and everything has a price. I'm not a snitch, but a lot of people are. And everyone's got a snitch threshold anyway. Am I really going to be tortured for something? Probably not. But, I mean, come on. Everyone's got a snitch threshold. Your mother has a threshold for snitching. Think about it. Your mother has a threshold for snitching. You come to mom tomorrow and you say, Mom, I got a dead hooker in the trunk. I don't know what to do. Your mother has a threshold for snitching. What is that threshold depends upon your mother. Talk about it, James.
Shit, well, now I've got a dead hooker in the back of my trunk and my mom's gonna snitch on me. No, but, it's true. Everyone, ultimately is self-interested. And, they've done studies in animals and shit as well. I've seen where they literally had, a cage. And they'd have, a baby monkey and its mother. And they turn the heat up in the cage. And eventually, the mom put the baby monkey on the floor and stood on it so that they wouldn't have to fucking...
It's survival.
So it's basically the same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially the same thing. We're animals.
So anyway, we never know why they're doing what they do, but
everyone has a threshold
for trust. Number 4, I know you heard this before. Never get high on your own supply. Now, this can be about drug dealing, right? But it can be about a lot of things. You could be at a chocolate store and eat too much chocolate, or a Burger King and too many burgers, right?
Indulgence. Overindulgence.
As you get richer, kids, what you're going to realize is you have more than you need. I know that sounds foreign to you right now. But at a certain point in time, you get so much shit for free that it's difficult not to overconsume. And that's the basic concept behind that, whether it has to do with you getting wholesale prices on drugs in that example, or whether it's you getting unlimited free Whoppers. Do you understand? It's that you have easy access to things that, people have to pay for. And not only do you not want to abuse that, because that burger does cost you money even though you own the restaurant, right? But it's not healthy. And overindulgence leads towards you getting bored of something too. It's just it's a net negative. So don't do it. What do you think, James?
I think this example is probably the most tame and relatable to everyone.
And it was the one
So
most related to drugs, ironically. So,
but essentially, I agree. Like, you know, we have to have self-control. You know, I don't think there's anything really else to say about that. But I think, you know, for people, they need to remember what it is that they want so that they don't overindulge in these things that they're doing or having or consuming, because it's going to distract them and take them away from what it is they actually want. Now, shit, maybe they just want to eat burgers all day or fucking consume copious amounts of different drugs. But they don't really want that. They're just masking something else up instead of going for what it is they actually desire. Most likely.
yes. Now, number 5, I believe. Correct? I gotta remember my 10 crack commandments. Yes, number 5. Very important. Never sell no crack where you rest at.
Damn.
I don't care if expletive want an ounce, tell 'em bounce. What is this? What is this mysterious commandment number 5? This is one of the most interesting commandments. Sadly, listen, guys, I'm a money-getting kind of guy, and I've got to look at my phone for a second. My phone's blowing up with people wanting to pay me. Oh, excellent. I actually received a payment. Look at that. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Anyway, number 5. Guys, you don't want to get your hands dirty at all cost. This is done through the act of intermediaries. You will never hold your own crack, so to speak. Ever. It'll be held by some homeless guy on a corner or one of your bitches.
Some pusher.
That will lead into one of the other commandments. Now, understand the use of intermediaries in things that you're doing that you don't want to be associated with. Have someone else do it if the idea is good enough. Just take the piece you need. Because you're the player. The other person is the instrument. Number 6, that goddamn credit. Forget it. You think a crackhead's paying you back? Shit, forget it. What are we hearing in number 6? We're hearing that basically when you give out credit, don't give it to a crackhead. You know, if someone's not solvent and they're not going to be able to pay you back, don't give them money. If you think they're actually going to be able to give you the money back, give it back to them, or give it to them only if you can afford to lose it. Right? This keeps things simple. And always try to be generous with your friends, with your family, until they betray you. Because they'll do that even though you're helping them. But that being said, always, I'll tell you like a wise man once told me,
Oh, here we go.
always overpay for things. And always be polite.
He's got a good story for this one.
And everyone will want to do business with you. And I can give not one example of this, James, but several. I've got the coffee shop story where they would just have my things waiting for me eventually. I have the Subway story where the ketchup. I got all these stories because that's what you do, guys. That's how you make a difference in the world and do good and also get some props.
Yeah, without pretending to actually care about whatever war or fucking agenda is being, propagated, just to fucking launder some money in a different country somewhere.
Trump is mafia.
Mafia G.
And I love it. And I know a thug when I see one. And, that's what he is. And that's what we need. And sorry, I'm not going to apologize for it. And if you don't like that, well, don't like it and subscribe. Anyway,
LOL.
number 7. Wait, I gotta make sure I'm doing this correctly. I don't want to disgrace the Notorious B.I.G.
Blasphemy.
Number 6. That goddamn credit, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, number 7. And this rule is so underrated. Keep your family and business completely separated. Money and blood don't mix like two dicks and no bitch. Find yourself in serious shit. Now, this is a crack commandment, and you can do business with your family, but it's dirty because you can't take, ready for this? Extreme measures against them. So they get a pass on a lot of things that they shouldn't. My sister, for example. Things were not always great with us because she was handling some of my properties and things, But it doesn't matter. We're great now. And this is because I could not take extreme measures against her.
So ultimately, this weakens your position.
100%. So where was I? That's powerful, right? Your friends, well, but your family, no.
Friends are replaceable.
Friends, they show their true colors. What do you do?
They replace themselves.
Number 7. That was, or what was that?
Yeah, that was number 7. I'm on 8 now, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, number 8. Very important. It also leads back to the never sell no crack where you rest at. Right? It's number 8. Never keep no weight on you. Don't you know them cats can hold gats too? What is this saying here, James? Tell me, I want to hear what you think this is.
I mean, based on that second
I'll give you a hint. Bitch, hold my gack down while I shoot hoops. There's a hint.
Okay, so, you want to train, you want to ride or die.
Or boys.
Or boys. You don't want to be having to hold your own
Or both.
gun.
Or
you
both.
could have your boy or your girl. They're the ones, they're gonna pull the trigger, potentially. Or if these other guys, they're coming at you with guns and all this madness. You don't want to be weighted down by whatever bullshit you've got on you. You want to have free hands.
It's not just that. It's that the popo stop you. You ain't got no hate. You ain't got no.
See,
There's a whole bunch of shit, bro. It's like so multifaceted. Never keep no weight on you.
So this is so outside of my experience. But all this situational awareness is basically impossible to be aware of unless you're in situations that mimic this. Sorry.
Think about the real motherfuckers that live this street life pimp shit. Make the hoe respect the game. You bought her diamonds and cars. Trick, that's a shame. Say what you want, but I still figure she left because you couldn't be like them real expletives.
Oh, I love the self-censorship. He's getting better.
This is a skill. This is my
a
skill stack.
He's implementing upon his skill stack in real time. He's improving upon it. I mean, I'll be honest. There's going to be a lot of subjects that we talk about that I'm not really going to be viable to give any real input or advice on. Because I'm learning as well. I'm basically like you guys listening to this at some capacity. You know, part of the reason why I wanted to do this podcast with Sean was I thought it'd be a good way for us to continue to have conversations and chill whilst doing something productive and kind of spreading this much needed knowledge, which is really lacking in our generation.
In modern male society.
Yeah, like it's just
The best things that I see, guys.
It's not.
You know what the best
It's
stuff
not
I-
available.
The best stuff that I see is like some of these men's self-help things, like these men inspirational things. You know, like you've got to fill up your Facebook feed kind of that. You know what I mean? Instead of all this pickup artist 15-minute girl thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what makes you... Dude, I'm sorry, and I hate to tell you this, and I really do, and I know it's going to shatter a lot of people, or you might not agree because you can't. But...
Or you won't.
Or you won't, but...
Don't make me angry, Sean.
Barbecues, ball games, baseball, beer, wrestling, all these things, football... It doesn't make you a man, bro. It doesn't make you a man. It's not a sign of your manliness. And if you punch somebody out in a parking lot, it doesn't make you a man.
Bro, I played college football for however many semesters. I'm a man.
You do these type of things and you're a mindless bully.
I peaked in high school. Come at me, bro.
Bag my groceries, please. Just please bag my groceries and let me go home.
Damn you for calling out my inevitable fate.
And if you get out of line, you uppity peasant, I'm gonna send people to your house, bro. That's just the way it is.
Well,
Those people may or may not be police. That's the crazy part, bro. So stop. You know what I mean?
it's nice to have both sides of. Nice to have both sides of the correctional power at your disposal.
People respond best when you say, if you do A, B will happen. Women included, kids. All right.
It's a very straightforward equation.
And then you can control it all.
A manual.
Let's continue with the manual. Number 9. What was number 9? It's hard to recall them like one at a time.
Like when you're not singing them at a time.
So what we got? We got number 8. Never keep no weight on you.
Mm-hmm.
What was number 9? I'm forgetting the 10 Crack Commandments.
Just sing it in your head a bit or something.
All right, take over for a minute while I catch up. I gotta finish. What do you think of the overall episode so far?
I think so far we've discussed 8 topics in relative depth. I think even someone who's just gonna, because we're gonna split this up into like a bunch of clips, and we're gonna see what topics are actually gonna get views, like these quick little snippets, and we're gonna put this out on a bunch of different podcasts, and then obviously like we're gonna talk about the shit we want to talk about, but you know, for the sake of audience, you know, we will cater to what they want to a degree, and then, you know, based on the ridiculous numbers of real life experiences that you have, we will be able to provide solutions to these problems.
James, I'm drawing a blank on the last 2 Crack Commandments. I don't know why, but I think I failed the Notorious B.I.G. challenge, and
Oh no.
that's unfortunate. But we will have more overall teachings of things of this nature, and now we're gonna wrap up with the sermon.
Sermon.
I think what I'm gonna do, guys, with the sermon is I'm gonna do what I like to do best, and James knows this. Is I'm gonna pace a little, so I'm actually gonna pick up the microphone and speak directly into it like a 70s TV show.
How much length have we got? Okay,
No, we're good. We're good. Don't worry, I can walk. And I am gonna be like an old-fashioned Southern evangelical preacher, except it'll be like nothing you've heard before, and it's not gonna be about God per se. It's gonna be about some real shit. Teachings of a book that doesn't exist yet. What do you think?
I think the best way is to experience it firsthand.
Yes. And we will begin, and then we will wrap up with a quick goodbye. And what are we looking at so far?
Oh, we're looking at an hour 45 minutes.
Well, look, this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
All right, let's go. And I said unto you, children, that we were in some dark times where terrible things have been committed upon our fellow man. There were hunters in the world, hunting the people, much like they hunted the wolves. You see, the wolves were a threat. The only thing that could hurt their livestock, or maybe threaten them in the night. So they devised a plan on how to kill these Arctic wolves. What they would do in this cold tundra, James. Cold, so cold.
Oh, so cold.
Where these predatory animals would roam.
Skulk.
They would bury hilt first the base of a dagger in the ground, with the pointed end sticking up. And they's place something delicious for them to be licked on. And that's what you're doing, kids, is you're licking the dagger. Preach on! You're licking the dagger. It tastes good, but it's cutting every time, and you're thirsty now. Why? Why are you thirsty? You're getting a sense of something wet in your mouth, but you're thirsty. You're tasting something delicious, but why are you thirsty? 'Cause it's your own blood.
Oh, shit.
It's your own blood. It's your own blood on that blade. Because this wolf was so dangerous, they had to make it kill itself. You were so dangerous, my friends. They had to teach you how to kill yourself. All right, talk about it, James. Talk about it.
Shit. Okay.
How do I do that in real time? Just tell me how I do it. I want to know.
I think you become something else. Whatever the message is inside, it bleeds, it flows, comes to the surface.
But do you guys
And
realize
delivered.
my teaching you this shit is like a game for me? Do you actually realize that?
Yeah, he's very, very hyper casual about all of this. Yeah, I think from what I could kind of get from the sermon is, you know, the governments, the overlords, all these people, you know, they know that our free will is our greatest weapon. But they know that if we can put ourselves in our own prisons, that we essentially neuter and kill ourselves. And
Especially if they get something tasty along the way.
yeah, that tasty thing might be fucking, hours and hours of fucking
Football, beer,
football,
barbecues, ball games.
video games, fucking YouTube.
2,000 years ago, it was bread and circus.
Bread
and
and
that's how
circus.
they would control what they at least honestly referred to as the Great Unwashed.
Shit, I didn't even know that. Then later on, it was fucking, the Colosseum. Eventually, it was entertainment. Well, before that.
And then it was orgies, and then there was the destruction of society.
Yeah. And sugar and salt and the combination of fat and all these things manufactured in the food so
And
that
there
you'd
was
be
the
addicted.
end of a 4,000-year-old civilization. So great that it still has a church to this day.
Goddamn.
And you think we couldn't have been toppled without Trump? We were on the way, guys. That we were licking the dagger. Fervently.
Just doing so without any kind of disregard. Just like, yes, give me my own demise at a faster rate.
Sick, bro.
It's sick. A lot of people don't realise that they're really doing that, though. Do they?
No one does. The amount of things people do against their own best interest is extreme, and the lengths that they will continue to go to continue doing things that are against their own best interest but considered normal are also extreme.
So there's levels of how aware someone is to this
You
dynamic.
have to understand that most people are so based the other way and brainwashed. There literally is no saving them. That's why I'm saying they're not our demo. They're just not.
People have to be a certain level of awakeness.
Not just awakeness, mental capacity left. You have to have a certain.
There's programmable space that hasn't
It's
been.
not even programmable. It's that if they're so far gone, they might not be able to be saved. And the ones that are not so far gone, it's going to be hard for. And the ones that have been independent thinking all the time are going to learn some new shit.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
So we got 2 demos in there.
Yeah, we've got
Right.
2 demos. Nice. I think, unless there's something else you want to wrap up with, I think this is a good place to
I
probably.
think this has been a great interview.
Yeah, this has been a good first episode. Respect, bro.
Respect. We did it. We popped our cherry.
Nice. Well, I've been James, and this has been.
And I am Professor Sean, and remember, what you do not learn from me,
Life will inevitably teach you. Sign off right there.